Doing it. Hello and welcome to another installment of Get to Know Your Board Member. We are here with IFVP Board Member Nitya Waklu. She is in Seattle while I'm in Chicago. So welcome, Nitya. It's so great to be able to talk to you.
Thanks, Sunny. So as Sunny said, my name's Nitya Waklu, and I actually live in Portland, Oregon, so close to Seattle, but not quite. So I've been working as a visual practitioner for the last 6 years or so, and run a company called Drawbridge Innovations. And yeah, it's been awesome and a great privilege to be in the IFVP board.
Fantastic. Yes, it's been great working with you. So can you tell me a little bit about how you came to the field of visual practicing practitioners?
Absolutely. So I have quite an interesting story. So I grew up in India and I went to engineering school, after which I went to business school. So no art-related background. But very early on in my life, I'd say maybe I was in the 6th grade, my dad, who's a facilitator, introduced me to mind mapping, and he did that using Tony Buzan's book. And when I learned of that technique, I kind of fell in love with it, and I realized that that was a very natural process for me. So taking visual notes in school as I learned really helped me remember things better and made school much more fun for me. So that's something I kept doing through my life as a practice. But in about several years ago in India, a large company headquartered in Europe, they came to India and they wanted to redesign their vision and values, and they were in desperate need for a graphic recorder. And since this was several years ago, there was no one in the country graphic recording. So, someone called up my dad desperately, and he kind of volunteered me to show up at the huge offsite with the CEO and top management. So I Googled graphic recorder and bought this big roll of paper and chisel tip markers and showed up and drew a giant mind map of the conversation. And I loved it. I had so much fun doing it. I loved listening. I loved the visual representation. The clients loved it. The participants in the room loved it. So that's when I discovered the field of professional visual practice, and I moved to the United States in 2008, and then towards the end of 2009 set up my business to start working professionally. So that's my path into this world.
Amazing. Sounds similar but so different from so many of us.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about why you chose to join the IFVP board?
Absolutely. So one of the things that really struck me when I moved to Portland and knew absolutely no one really was that people were extremely generous with their time and their expertise, and so many people met with me and mentored me and gave me advice and helped me get started. So I always, I kind of do have a strong need to give back to this wonderful community. So joining the IFVP board was my way of doing that. I also have some ideas and things that I wanted to see happen in the field of visual practice, and the fact that that we're still, let's say, in the emergent stage of our life cycle as a practice. I think we all have an opportunity to shape what the field's going to look like. So I was really excited about doing that. And the other reason, Sunny, is that I work alone for the most part, and I was really looking for, people who knew what a visual practitioner is, and people I could talk to, and people who could empathize with me and, collaborate with me. And having you and the other people on the board has been a huge blessing in that way.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. It's hard being solo sometimes.
It is, yeah.
It's always nice when you get to be on a team of other scribes, but that almost never happens.
Never happens. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what it is that you like serving as a board member. Or maybe let me ask that correctly. What do you like about serving as a board member for the IFVP?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think one of the biggest benefits for me is the ability to collaborate with people like yourself on the board. I also do like the fact that if I have a new idea or there's something I want to test out, that, I have a supportive environment in which to do that, and a way to reach out to, a huge tribe of like-minded people. So that has been, two of the biggest joys. And I also like the feeling that I'm contributing to the field, and I'm, giving back to the community in some way and learning so much. I've just learned so much after being on the board. So yeah, it's been a great ride.
Fantastic. And in your estimation, what would be the next level for the field of graphic recording, graphic facilitation?
Yeah, I think so. That's an interesting question. And I think a lot of us have come at this field from very different paths. So I think what the next level will look like in this practice really depends on what your intention was and what your goals are. So for me, I'm very clear that the next level is a much closer integration with business. And what I mean is that really shifting from, something that you add on a visual practice or a graphic recording component towards the end of a process, to a much tighter knit upstream. So my vision is that in the next 5 years, if there's an organization that wants to undergo, radical change or like transform their culture, for example, me or some other visual practitioners, one of the first calls they make, and we can then contribute in co-designing the intervention and also recommending throughout the process how visual tools might help to do what they want to do. So that's one, Sunny. The other thing that I've been thinking about and I haven't quite landed on is really exploring how visual tools might help people at an individual level achieve their goals and really be the best they can be. I know that sounds pretty fluffy right now. So I think there's something in there. I haven't quite figured it out, but I'll keep you posted when that happens.
Sounds like some coaching kind of stuff is in your future.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
So tell us, what are you working on with the IFVP board that will be beneficial to our members?
Absolutely. So I'm part of the member benefits team, which really focuses on trying to understand what our membership and what our tribe wants and trying to serve them in the best possible way. So one of the things that we did do last year was a member needs survey, which really helped us understand what the biggest pain points were and our biggest areas of opportunity. And then based on that, based on some of the feedback we got there, what we're doing this year is running a business barometer survey. And the intention with this survey is to really across the world understand what are the best practices that visual practitioners follow. What are, for example, what's someone's travel policy, or how do people bill for their projects, or, even what kind of work are people really doing across the world. So it's setting up a survey to basically harness this insight and then also serve it back to the community for everyone to benefit from. So that's one. And the second thing we've just launched, I'd say like maybe a couple of weeks ago, is an affiliate membership program where members of our tribe can partner with IFVP in a financial arrangement that kind of is a win-win for us both. Mm-hmm. So that's in the pilot stage, and we look forward to rolling that out.
Cool. I look forward to the business barometer results.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what emerges from that.
Yeah. So tell me, what inspires you as a board member in doing this work?
Well, I think the main thing is I love this work. I wake up every day and I feel really grateful for being able to be self-employed, being able to do work that I love, and also being able to work with amazing clients who have not only hired me but also taught me and mentored me, and so that's kind of what wakes me up in the morning and gets me going, and yeah, has been great so far.
Fantastic. So where do you see yourself after your term as a board member is over? What do you plan on doing?
Yeah, well, I tend to my intention is to sort of accelerate or like direct all of my energy working on my business and really trying to figure out for myself what that next level is in my visual practice. But I would always love to, stay connected and contribute to the IFVP board. And the way I see myself doing that is taking on some discrete projects where I can sort of manage something on my own, work on it, and hand it back to the board. And of course, always be a friend and extended family of IFVP.
Absolutely, yeah. And then let's see, 10 years from now, what do you think you will be most remembered for during your term service?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think I've been writing a lot of IFVP emails recently, and I love doing that. So I think I might be remembered for sassy coffee in the emails. But also, I think one of the things that I bring to the table and personally is my area of passion is looking at numbers and looking at data and converting that into a compelling story. And that's what I've tried to do with the two surveys that I've been leading. So I hope that in the future, if I am remembered, it's for that work.
Awesome, awesome. And then just one last question before we wrap up. If there were people out there who were considering joining the board, what would you say to compel them to join us on the IFVP board?
I would say that, if you have an idea of what the visual practice needs to look like, if you're strongly passionate about something in this field, and if you want to make a difference, hold on to your ideas and join in, because seriously, there's no better place, there's no better platform for you to not only implement your idea and get support, but then also see that idea kind of spread out into the hands of visual practitioners across the world. So bring in fresh perspectives. And the other thing I would tell people is that don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. I think that's sometimes a barrier for people who want to join the board but don't, because they think that that's going to suck up 80% of your time. We are all really supportive of each other. It's a great community, and I think all of us have ebbs and flows in our work, in our personal life, and in our contribution to the board. So get your ideas on board. Know that we will all support you in making that happen. And it's a fun job. So hop on board.
I would echo that sentiment, everyone. She's telling the truth. Well, I want to thank you for your time today. And to all of you out there, I hope you are looking forward to hearing more about your board. Thanks so much. Bye.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.